With the Battlefield 6 open beta finally coming to a close, I think it's time that we answer a hard question. Are we so back, or is it so over? Before the open beta, Battlefield 6 was going on a positive PR rampage, with them surprising everybody by the developers making a direct comparison between their game and COD, stating that they wouldn't release goofy skins like COD did. This little move basically immediately made Battlefield 6 the golden child of the internet for like 2 weeks, since I think we can all agree we're tired of every large online multiplayer game turning into Fortnite with dumbass crossover skins that don't fit the setting at all. Me personally, I have been hurt so many times by first person shooters that although I was definitely eager to try it out and I was even cautiously optimistic, my expectations were still pretty low. I sat down one night, fired up the stream, and set out to play everything the beta had to offer. To start with the stuff I definitely like, the new revival system is pretty cool. When you get downed, you get a cinematic animation of your character getting hit by a mortally wounding bullet, and you're now downed. When a medic comes up to you, they now also drag you around as they revive you, which looks cinematic and cool. I also like that your squad mates can revive you even if they aren't medics, so you're now encouraged to hang around your squad more. You can also now take a second primary weapon in place of one of your gadgets, allowing you to choose to be more independent out in the field at the cost of some of your overall utility, which is an interesting choice that I enjoy having. And that's about all I gotta say for positives. If I don't talk about something from now on, like the gunplay or the classes, it's because it was unremarkable and I found it to be, fine, not like crazy or anything. Time to move on to the elephant in the room. I'm sure you all knew this was coming. The maps suck. Now, before you say it, I am aware, obviously, more maps are going to be there on release. But this is what they chose to showcase for the beta, and if this is the precedent they're setting, if this is the cream of the crop that they want to put out now to get everybody hooked, get everybody pre-ordering, I'm a little concerned. We got to try out 4 maps in the beta, and out of those 4, only one of them feels like an actual battlefield map with open spaces, jet dogfighting above, and vehicles that actually feel useful. I'm of course talking about Liberation Peak, the undisputed best map in the beta, and even that map has its own problems. The other 3 maps are incredibly congested and feel like Call of Duty maps. It's nearly impossible for snipers to find decent spots to shoot because of the tight urban setting. Jets and helicopters are just completely removed. There's no verticality to any of the maps beyond the second or third story to buildings, and Empire State doesn't even have vehicles at all. You would think that this is where the destruction is dialed up to 11, another staple of the Battlefield series, but the destruction and freedom of movement is incredibly limited. You can blow up a few insignificant low walls and make surface level dents in buildings, but most of the houses are completely closed and there's obvious red propane tanks everywhere, so you know exactly what's destructible and what's not. I only really noticed the destruction mechanics on Iberian Offensive, which is to me arguably the second best map in the game for that reason alone. Even though Iberian Offensive has no helicopters, jets, or any real verticality, I still had fun on it, because it can produce chaotic situations where your environment is being destroyed around you as you try to survive and cap the objective. Namely, on the middle objective in the map, where almost every single wall and floor can be destroyed, ensuring that no 2 combat encounters go the same on it. We need more of this, namely for the other maps and objectives, all of which are hardly destructible and more or less play the same way every single round. This may sound like a weird critique, but I found a lot of the objectives to be in stupid locations that didn't flow well into the rest of the map, apart from the C objectives that were in the middle of the map, obviously. Whenever I wanted to cap an objective, it felt like I had to make a detour and take a break from combat to go to it. It's obvious that the enemy team felt the same because I was often able to cap objectives solo or with a small squad with 0 resistance because nobody on the enemy team wanted to bother running all the way over and defending something in the corner of the map. I think this is the perfect example of why open maps are superior in large-scale conflict games like this. In this clip, I'm playing Liberation Peak in the C objective and providing sniper support to my team that's holding down B. I can perfectly see what's going on down in B and if they need help or not. Being able to actually see the large-scale conflict that Battlefield advertises is not only visually cool, it allows me, the player, to see how my team is doing and intervene if necessary. If I saw they were being overwhelmed by tanks, I could spawn in nearby as an anti-armor engineer. Or I could take a jet and do strafes on the tanks. If they're doing fine, I can stay up top and continue to pick off infantry. No matter what though, my decision is informed by the objective and the status of my team, which is where I think Battlefield is at its strongest. Unfortunately, this decision making is absent in tight maps because you can't see anything due to all the buildings in the way. All you have is the TAC map, which can't really compare to actually seeing what's happening with your own eyes. And it's not like these are meant to be small game modes either. These are full-fledged completed maps that have the large-scale conquest game mode stamped on them. Overall, I gotta say, man, I'm just not impressed. The maps actually drag down the experience so much, and it's clear that they half-assed this aspect of the game. It's crazy to me too how much hype this game got. Like, we were deadass expecting DICE and all the other guys behind us to reinvent the wheel here. Even though the only piece of marketing that even went viral was no goofy skins. That's it. There was never any discussion about new destruction mechanics or anything else because the fact is, this game doesn't innovate on anything. Everything here has already been done before, somewhere else, better. It feels like a generic shooter with all the color and flair of a Battlefield game removed or watered down. It's not really a bad game or anything, but it's painfully average. A 5 or 6 out of 10 experience just like the rest of the FPSs that get released nowadays. I strongly advise anybody interested in this game to wait for the full release and don't pre-order it. We simply don't have enough information from the beta to definitively say if this game is a waste of time or not, but the signs are not great and I would not pre-order it. Anyways, like the video if you learned something new or you agree with me, and sub if you want to watch goated live streams and get like fucking one video a month. That's all I got. See you around. Bye bye.